Traveling by train in a language that isn't your own, it isn't just about getting from one city to another.
Right, definitely not.
It's essentially this like high-stakes diplomatic mission, and it's taking place at 80 miles an hour. You're dropped into this massive moving ecosystem, right?
Yeah, exactly. A totally unique environment.
And you aren't dodging physical obstacles. You're dodging severe social friction. Like your only real shield and armor are the unwritten rules of politeness.
Oh, for sure.
Because one poorly phrased question could mean, you're on a quiet carriage going north when you desperately needed the express train going south.
It's an incredibly specific environment. We aren't just talking about like basic geography or simple directions here.
Right.
The railway operates on this entirely unique social contract, and the vocabulary required to navigate it, it serves as the fine print of that contract.
Which is exactly our mission for this deep dive today. We want to welcome you, our listener, to a really practical breakdown.
We have quite the collection of materials to go through, too.
Oh, it's a massive stack of sources today. We've got ESL transcripts, role-play exercises, real-world timetables, and conversational scripts.
Yeah, that's a lot of ground to cover.
It is. And we are condensing all of it to decode the language of train travel in the English-speaking world. We're turning this into a masterclass on navigating the railways with absolute confidence.
I love that. A masterclass.
But okay, let's unpack this right away. Is learning all this hyper-specific terminology actually necessary? I mean, are people just overthinking what should essentially be getting from point A to point B?
I mean, I get why it might seem like overcomplication, right? Just getting on a metal tube. But consider the psychology of transit.
Okay, lay it on me.
Knowing the mechanics of exactly what to say in these environments is just as important as knowing how to act.
So it's about confidence, basically.
Exactly. Mastering this specific vocabulary prevents the absolute anxiety of information overload. It ensures you aren't just physically on the correct platform, but that you are socially calibrated for the situation.
Socially calibrated. I like that phrase. Because transit hubs are inherently stressful, right?
No, absolutely. So using implicit social rules like leaning on modal verbs such as can or could instead of direct demands is how we maintain order.
Among thousands of strangers in a rush, yeah.
Right. It's the linguistic grease that keeps the whole system from seizing up.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's about minimizing friction. So before you can even enter that system, you have to secure the golden ticket.
Or the paper ticket in most cases.
Right, the paper ticket. Let's look at the ticket counter, which is stage one. This first step, I mean, it always feels like a tactical negotiation to me.
It really is. It sets the tone for the whole trip.
Because you could just use the ticket machine, right? Which functions as a sort of digital confessional for those of us who fear mispronouncing a destination. You just tap a screen in silence.
The sources highlight that exact dynamic. The machine completely eliminates the social variable.
It's basically a choose-your-own-adventure game for introverts.
Yes. But stepping up to the human counter requires a really specific strategic phrasing. You are initiating a transaction, but you have to cloak it in courtesy.
Right, you can't just march up to the glass and declare, I want a ticket.
No, please don't do that.
It strips away all the social veneer. It's way too aggressive. You have to soften it with, I'd like a ticket, please.
Exactly. It immediately frames the interaction as a cooperative effort rather than a demand. You're inviting them to help you.
And once you establish that baseline, you almost immediately run into regional linguistic divides, right? Which reveals a lot about how different cultures actually view travel.
It's fascinating. Like, if you are in the UK or Australia, the clerk is going to ask if you require a single or a return.
Okay, let's look at the mechanics of that phrasing for a second.
Sure. It focuses entirely on the utility of the document itself.
The actual piece of paper.
Right. A single means the ticket serves a single purpose getting you there. A return means the ticket has a dual purpose getting you there and back.
But if you take that terminology to the United States, a clerk might be genuinely confused.
No, completely. In the U.S., the language shifts to describe the human trajectory.
You ask for a one-way or a round trip.
Yes. The concept is identical, but the linguistic focus shifts from the paper in your hand to the physical journey you, the traveler, are undertaking.
That's such a subtle but wild difference. And then there is the temporal language, specifically peak versus off-peak travel. We use these almost geographic terms like peaks and valleys to describe human congestion.
It's a brilliant spatial metaphor applied to time. Peak refers to the highest density of commuters, typically weekday mornings and evenings.
Because you were competing for limited space during those hours.
Exactly. And the transit system applies a financial penalty for that. You pay a premium.
Right, and off-peak represents the valleys in that schedule.
Right. And the system actually rewards you with a cheaper rate for traveling when demand is low. The sources we looked at universally advise booking these off-peak journeys in advance.
To kind of manipulate that pricing structure to your advantage.
Exactly.
Speaking of pricing structures, the vocabulary changes when we talk about transit money, too. Like, we don't say the price of the train or the cost.
No, we specifically use the word fare.
Why is that?
Well, having a dedicated word like fare separates the traveler's physical movement from standard commercial transactions. It's not like buying a coffee or booking a hotel room.
It's more like a toll.
Exactly. A fare is the toll you pay for passage. And if you want to lower those tolls over time, the system offers tools like a rail pass or a rail card.
Which act as basically loyalty programs.
Right. You exchange an upfront investment for long-term discounted rates.
Okay, let's ground this in a real scenario from our stack of sources. There's a mini timetable in the materials detailing a route from Oxford to London Paddington.
Oh, yeah, the £22.50 one.
Right, it outlines a standard adult return ticket costing exactly £22.50. But what stands out to me isn't the price, it's the grammar used to describe the schedule itself.
The timetable grammar is honestly one of the most interesting linguistic quirks in English.
Walk us through it.
When you discuss a schedule, you use the present simple tense. So you look at the board and say, the train leaves at 10:30.
Even though 10:30 is in the future.
Precisely. We use the present tense for future events to manufacture a sense of absolute certainty.
Because if you say, the train will leave at 10:30.
Right. That introduces a subtle element of possibility or intention. Like, it might leave, but who knows? By stating the train leaves, we apply a rigid present tense reality to the future.
It provides psychological comfort to travelers.
Exactly. It implies the schedule is basically an immutable law of physics.
It's this total illusion of control.